Men should not tattoo phoenixes, women should not tattoo dragons. Wicked dragons should not have bright eyes, Guan Yu should not have still eyes. Tattoos were known as Xiai Qing in ancient times, a cultural tradition that has been passed down for thousands of years in China. In ancient times, animals were used as totems, and tattoos were popular for primitive witchcraft. Tattoos evolved from a branch of the Book of Changes, Zhou-yi, from ancient times until today. People believe that tattoos are totems of life that are carried on the body, and can change a person's destiny, following the principles of feng shui and the Book of Changes, using ghosts, gods, and demons as life totems. The person who tattoos to change fate is called a tattoo master. My name is Qing Yu. I am a traditional tattoo artist. One day, a middle-aged man came to my shop. The man called himself Zhang Tianba, and came specifically to have his tattoo changed, introduced by a friend. When I heard that he was introduced by a friend, I quickly got up and welcomed him in. Then Zhang Tianba ordered his 2 subordinates to guard outside, and not let anyone else in. But when Zhang Tianba took off his clothes, revealing his tattoo on his body, "You better pay attention," I was stunned. It turned out to be a dragon stretching over his shoulders. Seeing my surprised expression, Zhang Tianba was very proud, so I decided to show off my skills a little bit. Holding my chin, slowly said, "In ancient times, dragons were the masters of warfare, undefeated in battle, but as the saying goes, even fierce dragons can't cross the river. Not everyone can resist them. But brother, you have a strong spirit and a hard life, and with the skills of a master tattoo artist, not only can you resist it, you must have been successful and prosperous in recent years." A pair of tiger teeth protruded from the dragon's mouth, but there is a king character engraved on the dragon's forehead. The colors are varied and complex, with blue and black. The dragon and tiger are intertwined. This is a major taboo. If nothing unexpected happens, you might already be a dead man. Hearing this, Zhang Tianba's eyes were full of shock. He grabbed my hand excitedly and said, "Brother, you really have great skills. I have looked for so many people, but only you have figured it out. Please change the tattoo and save my life." Hearing his words, I nodded and then touched his tattoo, saying, "Brother, isn't this tattoo too risky? This dragon is a mess. The dragon and tiger are fighting. I'm afraid you've been having a hard time recently. With bad luck and the appearance of the dragon and tiger, I'm afraid disaster is coming. This design is too complicated. Looking at the direction and the veins of the tattoo is the mark of a master's skill. If a master doesn't tattoo it well, the tattoo will be ruined and bad things will happen. Do you have any ideas of your own? Help me add some eyes." When I heard that Zhang Tianba wanted to add some clear eyes to the dragon, I was also shocked. I asked him if he knew what would happen if the dragon's eyes were added. But Zhang Tianba said that adding eyes would certainly save his life. Adding dragon eyes will make this dragon look more powerful, suppressing the tiger. Upon hearing this, I sighed and said that it was originally true, but you have forgotten that the dragon and tiger are now one entity. Giving the evil dragon clear vision will also give the evil tiger pupils. Changing it in this way will only make things worse and can lead to death. Upon hearing my words, Zhang Tianba was frightened and begged me to save his life. I told him not to worry and that we would first change the tattoo, but before changing it, I asked about the origin of his dragon and tiger tattoos so that I could properly address the issue. According to Zhang Tianba, the tiger was left behind by a ghost that tried to capture him when he was a child at 6 years old. A white tiger with piercing blue eyes appeared in the mountains. The tiger not only took away many livestock but also killed several hunters who went into the mountains, including his father. Later, everyone was afraid and guarded their village at night. However, his mother and brother disappeared. The night watchman said that they walked out of the village on their own. The next night, he dreamed that his missing brother came to find him and said there was treasure in the mountains. He followed his brother and was taken away by the tiger. He doesn't remember what happened after that. The elders in the village said that this was a vengeful ghost, and that tigers don't eat their own young but ghosts do. According to legend, people who are eaten by tigers become ghosts controlled by the tiger, specifically luring their own relatives to be eaten. At that time, a wise man passed by the village and heard about the incident. He borrowed a gun from the villagers and went into the mountains alone. Half a day later, the wise man came back with Zhang Tianba, but unfortunately, It was too late. The other members of his family were already eaten by the tiger. Zhang Tianba was also scared to the point of losing his mind. The wise man said that the evil tiger's resentment had attached itself to Zhang Tianba. Therefore, he gave him a dragon tattoo across his shoulder, saying that the dragon could overcome the evil tiger. After hearing his story, I asked why the tiger didn't eat him, as children are more tender and delicious. Zhang Tianba didn't know how to answer and said that it might be because his father had killed the tiger's 3 cubs, and the tiger mistook him for one of them. I thought it was possible, and perhaps Zhang Tianba also realized this. Therefore, he fought hard and killed the 3 tiger cubs before giving himself a chance to live. Thinking back to these events, Zhang Tianba looked a bit desolate. I explained to him that the dragon tattoo with the tiger image is not appropriate from a yin-yang perspective. It's the evil tiger's lingering spirit causing trouble again. I removed it. Take a look. Upon hearing that the problem was resolved, Zhang Tianba became very happy but also somewhat worried if the tattoo could still function as before. I turned and smiled, reassuring him that it would be just as effective as before once the tattoo was restored. I also promised to add some finishing touches when the tattoo was complete. Your destiny can handle it, and you'll be even more successful. Upon hearing my words, Zhang Tianba instantly smiled and said, "Thank you, my brother." He then asked how much it would cost, and I held up 3 fingers to indicate 3,000 yuan. Upon hearing this number, Zhang Tianba became anxious, not because it was too expensive, but because he felt it was too cheap. He excitedly suggested that I might not value him, and that his life was only worth 3,000 yuan. I quickly explained to him that there were rules in this business, and changing the tattoo would take only an hour, so 3,000 yuan was a fair price. After hearing my explanation, Zhang Tianba did not say anything else and hugged my hand, expressing his gratitude and promising to help me in any way he could. We exchanged contact information, and he left. After he left, I looked at the ink bottle that I had just used and asked if the tiger could speak. Upon hearing my call, the ink began to bubble, and 2 claws appeared. This was the lingering spirit of the tiger from the tattoo that I had just removed. The little tiger timidly showed its head and then quickly disappeared again. I realized that perhaps we spoke different languages, so I covered the ink bottle. It turned out that the tiger that captured Zhang Tianba's family was not the mother tiger but rather a sickly little tiger. The big tiger mistook Zhang Tianba for one of its own cubs, which was why it did not eat him. This time, by using the conflict between the dragon and tiger, I managed to remove the tiger cub from Zhang Tianba's tattoo,